pulls out of the Bohachuk fight to fight Vergil Ortiz. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We got a live drop video talking about he had bronchitis or something like that, so he had to pull out the fight. We know that's horse shit. You know, he was supposed to fight Bohachuk and then turn around December 21st, the second fight, 21st, fight Bohachuk, and then in January, and then in February, you know, 22nd, and fight Vergil Ortiz. I told y'all them fighters today wasn't cut like that. I knew he wasn't taking both of those fights. That was just common sense. I told people he was not taking both of those fights. You know, and you know, I know people probably was like, oh, you know, he wasn't taking both of those fights. That was common sense. So much common sense. He wasn't taking both of those fights. So, you know, it is what it is. And now Bohachuk got to find another opponent. They gonna find him another opponent, but he pulled out without, you know, no doctor. So he had bronchitis, so he couldn't fight. All of a sudden, that ninja got bronchitis now. Bullshit. You know, he going for the Vergil Ortiz fight. It was probably a more lucrative fight. It was a fight that could put him on the map. And one thing I know about a lot of those Eastern Europeans, they hate fighting each other. They hate fighting each other. And then Vergil got a WBC interim title. So he knew Bohachuk was going to be a tough fight. Money was short compared to what he getting versus Vergil Ortiz. And he knew it was going to be a tougher fight. He knew Bohachuk was coming to bring the pain. If I'm Bohachuk, I ain't fighting that motherfucker again. I ain't about to line up to fight. That's some hoe ass shit he pulled. You know, they less than a month out. Now all of a sudden, you gonna pull out. Come on, man. Oh, you got bronchitis. Man, I'm telling y'all, they be lying about that shit. A lot of these dudes be lying about injuries to avoid PED tests, popping hot. A lot of these dudes be pulling out because, you know, they off weight and, you know, or they never wanted to fight to begin with. Straight up. You know, we know how they roll. We know how they roll. So, but it's sad. That's real sad for him. But they get him an easy touch, probably give him a little bump up in pay. He ain't complaining about it. Give him a little bit more money and move on. But he did that like 2 or 3 weeks before the fight as well. So we already knew these fighters today, even the Europeans, they not built like yesterday. We already knew that shit. So yeah, it's unfortunate for him, for that to happen to him and him not to get the opportunity that he probably deserved so much to fight Madrimov. But Madrimov, it makes sense. You're gonna probably make more money versus Vergil. It's a more notable fight. And on top of that, get a couple more weeks to train, more than a couple more weeks, and you get a WC interim title that puts you right in there with Sebastian Fondor. So it made sense for him from a business standpoint of view. And when I read it, I told people, ain't no way he's taking both those fights. The fighters today not cut like that. They're not. The athlete today is not cut like that. You see NBA players crying about playing back-to-backs. And what y'all got to understand, a lot of these NBA players, they got a lot of free time. They don't do shit in between free time. They be chilling. They don't really practice no more. So, oh yeah, these dudes today, they ain't cut like that. Even with all the new age technology, the new shoes, the new gloves, the new medicine, testing your blood for how much protein you need, how many carbs you need, I'll be telling you, these niggas cannot drive, bro. I mean, who get people license, bro? This dude sitting there, the light turning yellow in the turning lane, the car 50 feet away from the light, he just sitting there. I went right around that dude, man, or that woman. You just be sitting there thinking, like, people, like, the amount of people who can't drive is just, it's alarming. But nonetheless, like, they drive like they came out with cars last year. But yeah, I know, I feel both Bohachuk, but yep, bigger and better opportunities. And that just proved that these motherfuckers be lying about, being sick and injuries and shit. Like, these motherfuckers be lying. They be lying. He knew he was in for a tough fight. And Vergil fight ain't all that tough because he ain't hard to find. Everybody seen Bohachuk whoop on Vergil Ortiz. And a lot of people were saying, well, Vergil was trying to get an advantage. Even when it came to boots. A lot of people felt like he was trying to get an advantage. Because Boots just fought, and it would have been, I think by the time he fought Boots, it would have been less than around 90 days since Boots' last fight. And he fought in August, a couple months before Boots. And he was, Madrimov was he probably getting a competitive advantage on Madrimov. Or Madrimov just fought December 22nd. Well, that's less than 60 days, around 60-some days. And then he's going to fight him again without a full day's rest, a full camp rest. So, honestly, Madrimov might have been sharper. Real talk. He might have been sharper. When you coming off that, as long as it wasn't too much of wear and tear in your body, you probably would have been sharper. And he wouldn't have to exert the energy in camp because he wouldn't have to cut weight like that. It's a chance that he might have been sharper, to be honest. That's why them fighters back in the day was so sharp. They fought so often. Like I said, for fighters, it ain't like, they might train 2 hours a day and that might be split. They might split them training. It might be an hour of conditioning early in the day where they condition, they take a nap, do what they need to do after that hour of conditioning. And then, after that conditioning hour that they have, after that conditioning hour that they have, after that, they probably take a rest and then they come back and probably do an hour in the gym. So yeah, it ain't what people be thinking it really is, man. But it's still hard on your body, man. The training is the hard part. That's the wear and tear. That's what kind of make you mad if you go into a fight and you get robbed. It's the wear and tear on the body that you didn't put on there. All the running and getting your body prepared for war. A lot of fighters say the easy part is fighting. So he might have been sharper going into that fight. Because now these dudes fight once a year and they think, that's all the rest. That's why these dudes ain't getting better. First few rounds, they knocking rust off. No matter how much 10, 12, 20-week training camp, there's no supplement for fighting. Perfect supplement for fighting. Real talk. So, but yeah, a lot of people felt like Vergil was trying to get an advantage on Bohachuk. A lot of people felt that way. He was trying to get an advantage on, not Bohachuk, but Madrimov with the quick turnaround. And even with Boots, he was trying to get a quick advantage on Boots. And now nobody talk about that. How it was less than three months for Boots. They don't really believe in Vergil Ortiz. Look at this last fight. No matter how they want to go around and act like they won that fight, they didn't win that fight. That Bohachuk dude beat him by 3 or 4 rounds, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it wasn't even close. Real talk. But that's just my opinion. Don't make it right. Don't make it right at all. But that's just my opinion on it. So, a lot of people say he was just trying to get an advantage. And, like I said, nobody's mentioned Mazaliev's name. Somebody said Mazaliev won't be back till, I think after Ramadan. So they said he won. Usually they try to get it in before Ramadan, but you got to remember he did hurt his hand. So yeah, and it'll be interesting. Most guys, try to get it in before Ramadan, but then, he got the wrist problem. So, or the hand problem. He beat Tim Tszyu with a fucked up hand. So, But nonetheless, yep. So he pulled out of the Bohachuk fight. You know, just going to the fight with he's just gonna go into the fight with Vergil Ortiz. So yep, should be a good one. I think that's better than Xander Zayas. And apparently Vergil and Madrimov sparred, and Vergil got the best of sparring. And then Madrimov basically was like, I really wasn't in there trying to try. And Vergil daddy said, we paid you that money to spar, and you wasn't giving my son your best. And so we'll see. So they familiar with each other, very familiar. So it don't seem like Madrimov trying to back off. Ain't scared about what Vergil did to him in sparring. So sparring is just sparring. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notification, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Check out the Patreon. Find me everywhere. Peace.